Hey guys, I had a lot of comments on the last video saying it's impossible to follow because of the music, so sorry about that. I'm re-uploading it with what footage I could find. I couldn't actually find it all, but I got a lot of it. It's basically me making cider. This is the first time I think we ever made it using a garden shredder and just the cheapest apple press I could find on eBay. It actually works really well, even though it is a little bit dangerous. The only problem is you do have to cut up the apples to fit into the entrance to it, so it is a bit time consuming. There's really small apples will go through, but the much larger ones you do have to cut up, so it does take quite a while. But if you don't want to invest in specialist equipment, it's really worth doing it like this instead.
I'm going to try some. Wow.
Tart.
No?
Sweet.
Really sugary and sweet.
Is it? Oh, might make a strong cider then. Let me try it. Oh my god, that's well nice.
Yeah, no. I thought it was going to be horrible.
Sour, like. No, it's nice. Nice colour as well, yeah. Better get cutting some more apples then.
Yeah.
So we've got about 2 gallons approximate in each bucket of freshly pressed apple juice, and I've added 2 Camden tablets to each bucket as well because I want to kill all the natural yeasts, and I'm hoping to add my own yeast tomorrow, so I'm going to leave that for 24 hours to do its thing in the shed, and tomorrow I'll pitch my yeast and add it to a warm place. So bye for now. Okay, so it's been 24 hours since we pitched our Camden tablets, and now we are going to put in our yeast nutrient, our pectolase and our yeast. So this is 1 level teaspoon of the yeast nutrient per gallon. So that's 4 we're going to put in all together. So that just helps the yeast, gives it something to feed off, and stops it getting strained. And then we're going to put the pectolase in, which you definitely need to do with your cider if you want your cider to be clear, because apples have a lot of pectin in them. And that again is 1 level teaspoon per gallon. So we'll just give that a stir with our sterilised spoon, just to mix all that in. There's a few bits of apple still, but that doesn't matter because it'll get strained off. So that'll be fine. And then the next thing we need to do is just put in our sachet of yeast. So this sachet will do from 1 gallon up to 5 gallons, so we're just going to sprinkle the whole thing on top. And the reason I sprinkle it on top is because the yeast likes the oxygen at first to start it going. So we're just going to leave that on top, and we're just going to put the lid back on.
That's a Young's cider yeast, that one, that we're using.
So we'll just put the lid back on there.
Trap okay? Yeah.
Yep, that's fine. And what we'll do now is we'll put some sanitised water in the trap, and we will come back every day and stir the mess, because we want to get as much oxygen in as you can for the first week, because the yeast does like oxygen in the beginning. So while it's in the primary bucket, you want to try and get oxygen in if you can. So that'll be it now.
We'll be using the heater belt on this, will we, Claire?
Yeah, because it's in the shed, And it's not massively warm in here, although it's not really cold either, is it? We're just going to use this brewing belt. And basically what it does is it just goes around the whole bucket, and it'll just keep the temperature just right for the yeast.
Just put something underneath the bucket after to insulate it from the floor.
And then we'll plug that in, and then we'll leave this now for a week, and this will be quite a vigorous fermentation hopefully, so it'll froth up quite a lot, and that's the reason why you don't want to put it too high in the bucket. You want to keep the liquid quite low to just give it room to expand.
Right.
So we'll come back in a week.
Yep.
But don't forget to stir daily. So this is day 3 since pitching the yeast, and as you can see it's worked out quite well. Ooh. So that's quite a vigorous ferment, and then we're just going to stir it again like we've been doing every day, and then put the lid back on. Just racking the cider off from this bucket into a clean demijohn which has been sterilised.
At this stage, you need to limit the amount of oxygen that the cider is exposed to. So I would advise using a rubber bung and a trap with some sanitised water in it. This should keep it safe. When you're racking off, you need your cider to be quite high up, and then the cleaner demijohn to be low, and then you can use one of these special pumping tools, or you can just siphon it with the sucking the pipe through your mouth method, which I don't tend to use too much. I try to leave it for about a year before I decide to bottle it. Always wait for the fruit to be in season again. I really like these bottle filling ends because you don't have much waste with them, and they're a lot easier to use. At this point you can stabilise your cider if you want to back sweeten it. You can back sweeten at this point, but you'd probably have to stabilise it first. Without stabilising it, you're risking them getting a bit too fizzy, and you could have some bottle bombs. Depending on your hydrometer reading, there may even be enough sugar left to make it a little bit fizzy anyway.